An approach of Homo erectus leading up to Homo sapiens is interesting and quite graphical. Nevertheless, it is consensus that this approach is not at all the case with Neanderthal leading up to Homo sapiens, or up to modern humans, this amongst others, since Neanderthal and modern humans are recognized as, and proven to be sister groups, and not parent and child, or ancestor and descendant. Nevertheless, this and especially the worldwide consensus approach leaves India archaeology largely in the cold, because worldwide consensus supports out of Africa to the world, leaving India somewhere forgotten in the tale, or in fact seldom mentioned. This possibly because the attention of consensus jumps from Africa to Australia, because Homo sapiens that early, in fact too early, in Australia, that is not and never was connected with any other continent by means of a bridge, seems to continue an unsurpassable paradigm for consensus, which does not recognize the needed seafaring capabilities. Seafaring capabilities. We, the authors of this comment and/or video, do argue that the capabilities for seafaring were present at least since the Austronesian Expansions, and this very substantial, in fact sufficient substantial for the by Markers Proven Amerindian Ancestors to reach the whole extent of the Austronesian Expansion, already 50,000 to 80,000 years ago, including sufficient advance to navigate from the Americas to Africa, and almost inevitably at least partially back. How else, then with robust seafaring capabilities, can the spreading all over the world of markers of that and other periods be explained? How else would wandering males, or females, cross oceans, and also find sufficient and fitting mates of the opposite sex, without dying in the hands of their partners and group, or in the mouth of some predator? Unfortunately, a human urge to find answers quickly often leaves the needed scrutiny behind. Further, science itself claims that small populations cause unfavorable founder effects that negatively impact the long-term survival of the population. In other words, even if a mixed group of males and females would set off together, and would arrive, survive, and reproduce, they would still go extinct by themselves, even in the improbable absence of opposition or predators. At best, the fact of reaching the isolated Australia, and especially reaching with success and reproduction the isolated and much further away islands of Oceania, without advanced navigation is too improbable and paradigmatic to be considered as realistic by persons with scientific and practical backgrounds. Austronesian Expansion route. The Austronesian Expansion is recognized, and obviously also reaches out to India and its rivers, e.g. Tamil Nadu, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Ceylon, etc., and next to the Indus River, civilizations. When consulting the ancestral markers, as any scientist should, the out of Americans would appear as the origin of all humans. Frozen Arctic route. Crossing from the Americas over the frozen Arctic and next making use of the Elbe River and the Yenisei River, in Siberia, to the Altai Mountains, also featuring the enigmatic Denisova Cave, and with early Denisovan and later modern humans, presenting YHPR, which just like Denisovans and Neanderthals have their root and cradle in the Americas, allowed humans to be active with mining and to passing through this consequential trade route. Only later, and with the help of some of the most constant and important ocean currents of the world, the ancestors would reach India and Pakistan, also by boat, by far the preferred way historically. All this in their search for more favorable climates, seas, rivers, soils, and ports. Historically, Indians in general made very efficient use of these more favorable climates, seas, rivers, soils, and ports, this from the past until modern times, something that is demonstrated by the extreme population density in India and region, which is even higher than that of China. All this also is a strong indication that India archaeology very well could be one of the most ancient and important of the world.